Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's check out 15 pieces of rolling stock, an army bivouacking for the races, and a crowd gathering at pit row. And let's take a look at how I made this pit area. So stay tuned and we'll take a look at that. So I've got to come up with something to fill up this space. I want to do a pit area and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this. So it's got to be 1/4 inch. Let me see what I can find for that. So I want to continue working on the infield here for the cars, and I need a pit area. So I took this just a 1/4 inch piece of plywood that I have lying around, just cut it into a shape about the right size for 2 cars. Pit area. I'm going to have it down here, officials box here, grandstands here. But I need to get some paint on this so it doesn't look quite like a piece of wood, and it's going to take a couple of coats to do that. So let's just do that right now. This will be the first coat, and hopefully it won't take too many, but it'll probably take 2 or 3. I'll let that dry, sand it down, and I'll give it another coat. So it did turn out a little rough. I'm going to smooth it up, try to fill some edges in here, and even make that a little better. Get rid of those lines, but I might do the same thing I did with the track to try to make it look like it's paved. The Mars Black might be a little too thick for what I need to do, but let's fill this in a little bit with some Mod Podge. Some of these flaked off areas here. Not going to fill real well, I guess, but a couple of holes to fill too. Let that set up just for a minute. All right, that's set up. Let's give it another coat here. Guess I'm running out of that. And let's see if this works as well. It does smooth out some of those brush strokes and gives it more of a pattern, like a paver ran through here. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to the edges are going to be covered with concrete wall anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I'll let that dry out first. Well, I like the way this came out. This is good, and I'm going to fit that right in here. It looks like it'll be a nice little area for pit stops, but I want to anchor this down a little bit here. It's not going to take a lot. It's not going to go anywhere. So it'll dry out nicely. But one of the things I do want to do is need to get the retaining walls in here, around here, but they're too tall for an actual retaining wall. So I'm going to cut these things in half and make them a little more appropriate. How much of that I want to cut in half, we'll see. Yeah, that should work. Well, it's time to change the blade in that again. That's just pathetic. We'll change that blade and be right back. Always a problem changing the blade in this one, but made in China, go figure. All right, let's cut that halfway down. Up there. Which piece do we want to use? We'll use that one, and we're going to cut this back just a little bit because it'll be an outlet for cars here. And we'll glue that piece down right there. yeah, that'll work for that. I'm going to take about that much there. This might be a little harder to pin down. Yeah, get some on here too. Need to go right into that seam somehow. Let's try something different here. We're going to weight that down. See if that works better. Yeah. All right, we'll let that set up, see what it looks like. So there's one last thing I want to do before I close out this pit area with this video, and that is to make this ramp coming out of here. The mixture I use for roads is drying up on me, so I've had to dig down pretty deep to get anything soft. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'll try and fill it in a little bit to make that drop a little more even for cars. And after that, I guess I'm going to throw this batch away. It's just too stiff. Not sure I'm going to be able to work it as it is. Maybe. Yeah, I might be able to work with that. Wet my finger would help a little. I don't have any water right here at the moment, do I? And it's starting to look like more like a off-ramp here. I can decorate that up enough to make it look like something now. The starter's box is going to be here. I'll build that out of sticks. You'll see that in another video. And let's see. All right then. That's going to be it for this one. That is going in the garbage. If I need any more, I'll get some more. And that's going to be it for now. That'll be a good pit area. Train come alongside. Grandstands here. Not sure if it's going to be a Lightning McQueen type of grandstand for those cars. They have a little comedy there. I think I'm going to do a hill in here just to green this up a little bit. I want it all blacktop. And it's starting to come together for me. So there it is. Thanks for watching on this video. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time.